everyone, Nathaniel here, and welcome back to our bi-weekly report. The biggest news for the past few weeks has been the launch and successful completion of our campaign to buy the original development model of the American T-57 heavy tank. This scale model concept was made by the Rheem Company for the Fort Benning Armored Force Command from solid aluminum and weighs nearly 10 kilograms. Thanks to everyone who donated, we were able to gather the $700 needed, and we will be buying the model from its current owner. It will be shipped directly to the National Armor and Cavalry Heritage Foundation at Fort Benning. Unfortunately, we will have to wait until the 5th of December before the GoFundMe has the graciousness to send us our funds, but that all should go smoothly, and the model should be at the foundation by Christmas. There it will be preserved and put on display once the museum is open. Thank you to all who have donated for your help and support. As a reward, we are releasing a free poster of the T-57 heavy tank. Besides the fundraiser, the rest of the team has been quietly at work preparing more amazing articles. The funds from our Patreon campaign have funded the illustrations for 9 new articles at the time of this recording. We would like to thank all our patrons for their donations, and we will send them a Panther Ost F electronic poster. As usual, we have delved into the archives and come back with an interesting bit of history about the M4 Sherman's bow machine gun and its lack of a sight. These 2 original documents discuss the issue. The first one, a British Army Staff Situation Report, calls firing the sightless bow machine gun a waste of valuable ammunition, the weakest point on the tank, and that it cannot be commanded, and it requests its elimination or its replacement with a double coaxial machine gun. The second document, a secret AFV liaison letter, continues on the same trend, describing the bow machine gun concept as a nightmare for the designer and manufacturer alike. A terrible weakness in the armored glacis plates of all tanks so fitted, a sort of vacuum cleaner designed to suck in all the striped on or near the bow machine gun, and also requires its elimination from the front of all tanks forthwith. However, the loathed bow machine gun would live on in American designs until the M47 patent, in German designs until the end of the war with the Tiger II, in British designs until the Comet, and in Soviet designs until the T-34-85. I'd like to thank Captain Nemo for sharing his finds with us. Last week, we promised we would take a look at David Lister's forgotten tanks and guns of the 1920s, 1930s, and 1940s, and we keep our promises. As advertised in the title, the book covers largely or completely unknown tank and gun projects, mostly from the United Kingdom. A German project also makes an appearance, but one of the most important parts of the book is the start, presenting some completely unknown Japanese tank projects, including heavy tanks obtained by British espionage. While there is little information on them except from bits and pieces, 2 photos are also presented that show at least 2 of the vehicles were built, although the image quality is poor. However, this chapter, just like most of the rest of the book, leaves the reader yearning for more information on the fascinating apparatuses presented, but sadly, there isn't any more anywhere on the internet or in any publicly available books. The writing is well done, easy to read and follow, while the images and reconstruction drawings are beautiful and excellently illustrate the topics. The only gripe with the book would be the last chapter, which is quite complicated and tangled, making it a little hard to follow. However, this is understandable, given that the whole development described was in itself a characteristically British contorted mess. All in all, we highly recommend getting this book, especially to the more veteran tank enthusiasts who might make the mistake of thinking they've seen it all already. Wait until you read this book. For the gaming news, we are happy to hear that War Thunder will be adding in the Italian ground forces tree to the game. The Italians are currently the only nation in the game without a tank tree. The tree is already confirmed to contain the Beretta 501 wheeled tank destroyer, the Semovence 105/25 M43 self-propelled gun, and the P-40 heavy tank, with more vehicles being announced steadily until the new patch is launched. We hope this new feature of the game will draw some new attention to the interesting vehicles of the Axis powers, preferably without all the fakes and fantasy tanks that World of Tanks has felt the need to add. We also have a lot of Italian articles that will be published in the coming months, so we hope you'll enjoy reading some history in between shooting some enemies. Now, to the articles. The first week came along with a bang as we published a highly awaited article, the German Panther Ost F variant. As early as 1943, the Germans sought to design a new turret for the Panther, as the one in use was considered to be an inefficient design with various flaws. Under these new specifications, the Schmalturm, or narrow turret, was born. It did everything it was required to do, and then some. It weighed less than the original Panther turret and made the area of the frontal armor smaller, while not affecting the internal crew space. It also reduced the production time by about 30 to 40%. There were also small changes to the hull for the Ost F version. However, the Ost F never reached completion, with a single Ost F hull fitted with an Ost G turret seeing combat in Berlin. This excellent article was written by Joshua Doom Pyramid Martinez and illustrated by Andrei Akhtaten-Krushkin. It was funded by our Patreon golem through our Patreon campaign. Just to make sure we'll be accused of being wereaboos, we decided to start the second week with another German World War II vehicle, the 15cm SIG 33 Ost Panzerkampfwagen 1 Ost B, or famously and wrongly known as the Bison. The concept of mounting a heavy infantry gun on a tank chassis was born out of the need for providing the German infantry formations with more mobile artillery support. The SIG 33 Ost Panzer I was the first attempt to test the performance of this concept. In essence, it was simply the mounting of a heavy 15cm SIG 33 heavy infantry gun on a Panzer I chassis. It was built in small numbers, but this vehicle saw extensive combat in France, the Balkans, and later on the Eastern Front up to 1943. This article was written by Marco Pentelik and illustrated by David Bocalet. Besides these two articles, in the past 2 weeks, we have also published pieces on the American E7-7 flamethrower tank, the Spanish tractor Lendesa, the South African Betlor FV2 self-propelled multi-launch rocket system, and the Italian CV-29 fast tank. You can find links to all of them in the description.
Hey Nathaniel, mind if I cut in? Hi, I'm Ed from Plain Encyclopedia. This week we take a look at yet another fascinating late-war prototype. Developed for the U.S. Army Air Corps in the early 40s, the Vultee XA-41 was a force to be reckoned with, carrying 4 50 caliber cannons in its wings, along with the capacity to carry many more weapons, all while outperforming the P-51. With its powerful engine, it served as a testbed for the remainder of its short service life. The article was written by Medic Man 11 with illustrations by Hario Panji. Be sure to check it out. And back to you, Nathaniel.
This was all for this week. If you haven't already, consider donating over on Patreon. There's a link in the description. All the funds are used to pay for the beautiful illustrations that accompany every one of our articles. Give a like and subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss our reports or any of our future features. Also, please don't forget to check out our website for new articles, and you can check us out on Facebook, where we post interesting photos and questions, or on Twitter, Instagram, or Reddit. I'm Nathaniel, and until next time, keep us in your sights.